got to the Big Island and it was already dark. First thing I noticed about Hawaii, how dark it is. This was the first night we stayed at the Volcano Inn. Neat place, but we came in the middle of the night and it was so dark. Could imagine trying to navigate that driveway in pitch black with no lights. And then we get in there and there was no power in there. Unit that we rented, and Jeannie had this weird key on there, so I found a slot on the wall, and actually there was nothing in the literature about this, but we got the power on. And then this is what we woke up to. This was the view from the room. We woke up in the middle, it looked like, of the rainforest. Of course, at night we couldn't see this. This was really neat. We only stayed there one night though. And this was the best breakfast Jeannie enjoyed. She got her papaya and banana bread. I think it was the best breakfast she had over the 3 weeks. From where we stayed that first night, it was less than a 10-minute drive to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. It's one of the big reasons you want to go see the Big Island. Get to see the steam vents, which are pretty neat. As you can see, people throw money in there, I guess for good luck or something, like in a pond. Then the next little bit of drive up the road, you get to see the Thurston lava tubes. Go right through a active volcano lava tube. It was pretty good, but hard to film. To the lava tubes, we took a walk around one of the craters and onto an inactive crater. It's been inactive since the late 50s. And you first walk all the way around it. You do a hike and you start looking down there, and the people start looking really tiny. So tiny I took my binoculars out just to see. I guess we are a lot higher than I anticipated. The walk around it isn't too bad. It's just that when you get walking down to it, it becomes a little bit treacherous, as you'll see. So we decided to walk around it, and then we walked onto the crater floor. And we probably will never do this again, but we decided we probably only had to walk through halfway, turn around and go back, because this whole process of walking around it and walking on it took about 4 hours. That day we hiked and we walked over 9 miles. And some of it's not bad. Then it starts to get rocky.
It's a big one, right?
You got to be careful of your steps. Glad I had my hiking shoes on that day. And then when you get down to the lava itself, it becomes a little bit slick and a lot more treacherous. So you got to be really careful. Once you get on the crater floor, it's easy walk, but from the rim, it looks like everything's flat, but it's not. It's all cracked, and I was surprised of all the vegetation that grew through there. The Big Island is the youngest island of the big Hawaiian Islands. That's why there's still volcanic action and black beaches and a lot of volcano activity still. A drive to go see the famous Holie Sea Arch. And when you drive down there, you see how the lava just went right back to the sea. It's kind of amazing. Our next venture on the Big Island was Akaka Falls. It's a real beautiful hike all the way until you get to the falls. It's relatively easy. It's on concrete the whole way. There's a few elevations, but it's not too bad. And in the middle of this, you get to see one of many bamboo forests on the islands, which is pretty cool. It's big, thick bamboo that I've never seen before. Then they have these banyan trees that the roots just come crawling out everywhere. And they have these little streams and ponds through the whole walk until you finally reach the end where the falls is. You can't get really close, but it is gorgeous. Definitely worth a look. I think it only costs a little bit of money to park there. That was it. It's a Hawaiian State Park. Next, we took a drive to Waikaumalo Park. By the way, I have a hard time pronouncing these Hawaiian names. No disrespect. It was home of a great chief. His bones are buried there. By the way, there's stray cats and chickens everywhere in Hawaii, on all the islands. We got our first look at the Black Beach before we went down to one. It overlooked a beautiful valley. Very nice. So the next day we got to actually go swim at a Black Beach. I'll tell you, at first it's really strange not seeing sand. The grains are a lot bigger than white or brown sand. Not a huge fan of the Black Beach, other than it does look beautiful and it's different. And that day we did get to see our first sea turtle, kind of taking a nap right there. And yes, you do get to see some whales. The only regret we had on this trip is that we didn't take a whale scenic boat ride. We've seen quite a few from the shoreline though, as you can see here. This was on the main island, and we've seen quite a few more on Maui. Our fourth and final day on the Big Island, we went to the Kilauea Volcano, which is still active. It erupted in 2020, and it really erupted in 2018. But we got up at like 4 in the morning, got there early so we could see it. There's quite a few people do go to see it. So if you want to get a good seat or stand, it's pretty cool. The sun comes up behind you, and it lights up Mauna Loa. And it's a beautiful sight. It's one of those things that you almost have to experience. We probably spent 2 or 3 hours there. A lot of people go there, they love it, and we sure had a good time. If you visit the Big Island, make sure you do this.